A colossal space hulk has emerged from the heart of a warp storm and lies on a collision course with the Forge World. This monstrous conglomeration of wrecked
Space Hulk Tactics is a turn-based tactical strategy game based on the classic Warhammer 40,000 Space Hulk board game. The story goes that a massive Space Hulk, which is a mangled collection of different starships, was found heading towards an Imperium Forge world. It is up to the Space Marines to stop it from obliterating the planet by boarding the Space Hulk and neutralizing the threat from within. But it's not so straightforward because the Space Hulk is also infested with Tyrannid gene stealers. Space Hulk Tactics features a single player campaign with a good amount of branching paths. You move your Terminator squad around the Space Hulk campaign map from node to node, collecting resources, unlocking new paths, and engaging in missions to exterminate the gene stealers or fulfill some other objective. What's really cool about the Space Hulk Tactics campaign is that you'll also get to play a Gene Stealers campaign, which is sort of a prequel to the Space Marines campaign, taking place hundreds of years before. However, the real focus of the game is the tactical turn-based missions. Here, you'll have to use the Space Marines or Gene Stealers to accomplish specific objectives. For the Space Marines, your objectives are usually to kill the special Gene Stealer or go to a waypoint and do a specific thing, such as planting a bomb. Things are a bit more straightforward on the Gene Stealer side, which obviously you'll just have to kill all the Terminators or kill a specific Terminator. The foundation of the tactical battles is the action point system. Every action, which also includes turning, uses 1 AP. For the Space Marines, you only have 4 APs, which means your movement is quite limited each turn. The Gene Stealers, with the exception of some special Gene Stealers, get 6 APs, which make them much more mobile and faster than the lumbering Space Marines. The Space Marine Terminators will have to make full use of the long narrow corridors and their entire squad to cover every angle as they slowly progress to the objective. Using the Overwatch ability, which enables your Terminator to automatically fire at the Gene Stealer that enters his range of fire, is absolutely crucial. The success of attacks are calculated by dice rolls, just like the board game. There are no health bars or mechanics such as cover here. A single hit from a Gene Stealer means instant death. So if a Gene Stealer enters the range of a Terminator in Overwatch mode, dice is rolled for each tile the Gene Stealer moves onto, which makes these long narrow corridors essentially a death trap for Gene Stealers. The Gene Stealers play really differently. They seek to overwhelm the Terminators with sheer numbers and cunning use of misdirection. The Gene Stealers generate blips, which could consist from 0 to 3 Gene Stealers. The blips are revealed to the Terminator when they have a direct visual of the blip or when you, as the Gene Stealer player, choose to reveal it. The neat thing about the Gene Stealers is you could use fake blips that don't spawn Gene Stealers to misdirect the Terminators. You could force them to set up Overwatch on the areas where the fake blips are coming from, while you plan your real assault from a different, less defended direction. Playing as the Gene Stealers is a lot more fun than the lumbering Space Marines. I gotta say, it's also a lot more easier than playing the Space Marines. You can spawn lots of blips and just wear out the Terminators in waves of attacks. It's much more challenging for the Space Marines as a vast majority of objectives have a turn limit. You'll fail the mission if you don't accomplish your objective within the turn limit. While personally I hate missions with timers in any game, I can see why it's needed here. Because without it, the Terminators can simply hold out defensively in Overwatch and decimate the Gene Stealers. So yes, turn limit missions are unfortunately a necessity here. Where Space Hulk Tactics truly diverges from the board game source material is in its card system. Each turn you could play a card from your deck that gives a particular unit a buff. This could be a +1 to attack for one turn or guaranteed success for the next melee attack. Most of the cards are useful but are just minor buffs. However, you also have the choice of converting a card for additional AP, This could be super important if you need to speed up to complete your objectives within their turn limit and you just need the security of setting one of your troops on overwatch. The cards are a neat addition to Space Hulk Tactics, but they don't feel like a massive game-changing feature. It gives you just enough of a slight advantage, never quite bold enough to completely tip the balance. They could do with a lot more variety of cards, and cards that could be used with all classes. Space Hulk Tactics is one of the better video game adaptations of the classic Space Hulk board game. It doesn't quite take huge risks in adding new systems to the Space Hulk formula, but does an adequately good job of faithfully recreating the board game rules with a new spin, albeit a small little addition. You can play the turn-based tactical battles in multiplayer, but finding a game online might be a little difficult. The game doesn't have the largest player base playing it in multiplayer at this point in time, but it does have a really good map editor that's easy to learn and use. It's also an incredibly random game, or some use the term RNG, meaning the outcome of battles depend purely on the luck of the dice roll. Some people ain't gonna like that, but if you understand that the game inherits this randomness from the board game and are up for some pretty darn challenging missions, Space Hulk Tactics delivers a pretty darn good experience.